Umbra, Guardian of Veraxis. Every single syllable dripping with teenage angst. What a splendid name for a beautiful dragon, skin grey as the evening sky with breath of fire of bright burning blue. Truly a remarkable sight to behold in the murky depths of Umbra's lair. All this majesty only to be wasted on a boss with an extremely boring loop. But to its credit, it is only really boring and easy as a mage, but might be a good challenge doing this as a warrior as they were originally intended 3 years ago. So Umbra exists in a lair to the northeast of Veraxis. From the entrance to a domain, head further northeast past a flight of hostile baby dragons and you will come face to face with a battle mage. Make a left turn and you will meet Umbra. That is, unless she is already being surrounded by other sweaty dudes with prepubescent rage. Now Umbra exists only for two purposes. The first are her item drops. These are lollipops and saving graces which range from 1 to 3 each time, and her dragon parts like the dragon scales, claws, horns and eyes. But at this time, the dragon parts are only used to craft the warrior Umbra set. The second reason for farming her is the pet Umbra, which is just another useless showy pet like the Tiny Derricks and Golem Mini. But apart from these drops, she also carries a ton of garbage, and it's no surprise since it is so common seeing noobs get fried by attacks every single day. As in, she probably loot these losers. The Umbra fight is incredibly easy as a mage. You could easily outmaneuver her attacks and beat her without a single piece of armor equipped. So HP is probably the most important stat in case you accidentally suffer from skill issue. Go full spell power as a mage and at least 60 accuracy as a warrior, but you are damn well better off with a basic one than to struggle going melee for this fight. Now in terms of gear requirements, there is really none so long as you get good, but the best time to attempt this and be relatively safe from skill issue is to at least equip the Nightspun set as a mage or the Golemite set as a warrior. As this fight is extremely easy, you really don't need to prepare anything except maybe damage relics, power relics and magic potions. These are especially useful if you want a better shot at getting a loot priority by doing more damage than the other players contesting the same territory. If you are going melee, I would highly recommend bringing fire relics because you will most likely get burnt. Not by Umbra herself actually, but because you will be humbled by that Putang Inamo mage next to you. You can also choose to bring lollipops to convert them into shards. If you do not wish to have to compete in the public space, you may speak Draconian with the battle mage. Here you can open a private instance at a cost of 25 shards per 30 minutes, which allows you to mutilate the dragon as much as you please. This is equivalent to 5 lollipops worth of shards, but in my opinion, this is really not worth it. Let me show you my hours worth of drops doing Umbra. Actual shit. Now moving on to her moveset, she really only has two kinds of attacks. Her first attack is a simple fireball. This deals initial damage on impact and leaves a burning patch on the ground for 5 to 6 seconds, dealing significant continuous damage should you stay on it. This burning patch also has a chance to leave you with a burn, which deals a lot of damage over time. Her second attack is triggered as she loses HP and enters her next phase. More on this phase in just a second. But first, this attack deploys a white square of fireballs which covers her vicinity but otherwise leaves no burning patches afterwards. This deals a lot of damage and will likely inflict you with a burn. Now I mentioned about phases, and this is really what it boils down to. Whenever Umbra loses 33% of her max HP, she enters her next phase. In her first phase, she deals low fireball damage and her burn effect takes 15 times each, dealing 100 damage over 8 seconds. As she enters her second phase at 67% HP, she releases a 5x5 square area of fireballs around her. Her fireball attacks will then spit out quicker and the projectiles fly a little bit faster. Her burn damage is improved to take 20 times each, dealing 250 damage over 9 seconds. And as she enters her final phase at 33% HP, she releases an enormous 7x7 square area of fireballs around her. Her fireball attacks are now extremely rapid and they fly by very fast, just like your high school love interest. Worse still, the burn she now inflicts takes 25 times. Each dealing 300 damage over 8 seconds. This is a massive collective 7500 damage and you must heal through this or risk certain death. So those were attacks and phases. Now let's take a look at a typical run. Very briefly, we should always be on our toes and walking onto places that isn't burnt. It takes the same amount of time for the fireball attacks to hit the ground from any distance to the boss, meaning to say that we are usually equally safe being under her as opposed to being at range. So unless she's entering her next phase, it is perfectly safe to be under her. And that's it for this fight really. She's an incredibly easy boss to handle. But if you have any other issues facing this boss, please let me know down in the comments below. I might have missed something out. I just found her extremely boring and very easy and very repetitive. And that's about it. That is Umbra in a nutshell. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and subscribe for more Curse of Eros content. Now with that said, this has been Derry Free to Play, and as always, I will see you in the next video.